Hello, my name is Scott Westbrook, and tonight my research paper is really a case study on workforce optimization in the call center and showing it as an example of creative destruction. The reason actually I'm kind of interested in this whole workforce optimization anyway is that my case company is actually very much involved and actually is very much a part of this transformation that occurred in actually their industry. So just a brief agenda of what we're going to be going over tonight. It's really an introduction to the whole concept of what is this workforce optimization thing that I'm talking about, and is this creative destruction, what's actually going on here. Really give it all to you in a nutshell in the introduction, and then break it down a little bit and actually show some of the pieces, some of the research that kind of builds up to, is this actually, a transformation occurring in this industry, or is it just incremental? Is there actually a big change happening here? So look at it from, very different perspectives, and then finally at the end here, show how the emergence of this new, innovation, this new transformation that occurred, actually how it happened. So let's give a real, hopefully brief introduction, and hopefully this will kind of give you a frame of mind, some context to where I'm going with all of this. First of all, everything I'm talking about here, all the technology solutions, everything, is really based on the call center function in an organization. This is a place where you have customer service representatives, or as I commonly call it, just agents, at a cubicle. They got a phone, computer screen, and then they help someone who calls in. And really what's happening here is that this workforce, which would be all these agents, has previously, they've had separate, different technology solutions to help manage and help facilitate the process of taking calls in a call center. And what I believe is happening here is that there's a convergence of a bunch of these different technologies together, and actually this convergence, the sum is greater than the individual pieces of it, I believe. And what the key point here is that looking at, and actually this goes back to my case company when there's a big market change, this big workforce optimization thing happened, there's consolidation that occurred, is really showing that transformational improvement can be made through strategic acquisitions, very carefully planned acquisitions made by one company to acquire the knowledge, the intellectual property, the know-how, the experience of these other companies, bringing it together and really accelerating and pushing forward innovation. So that's pretty much the whole thing. I'm just going to kind of unpack it a little bit. To give more of some theoretical background as to workforce optimization, this whole idea of managing and assessing the performance of people. We have several different theories on how to manage people, how to assess their performance. One, management by objectives, which was popularized by Peter Drucker, is actually having the employee and having them collaborate together and actually come up with, they collaborate on goals for certain managerial objectives that they have. And the idea is that you get employee buy-in because they participated in that event. You also have 360 feedback, also called multi-rate or multi-source feedback. And really what that tries to do is to develop and assess the performance of someone through multiple different perspectives, different viewpoints. Instead of just having your supervisor give you your performance appraisal or do some employee development, you have other input and feedback from your peers, from customers perhaps, suppliers. So you get a more well-rounded view of your agent or the person that you're looking at. There's also other theories as well. Do trait analysis or looking at various traits in your employees and assessing them. However, really what I looked at, what I found was interesting, is that some of the concepts or some of the things that are happening here with this workforce optimization, where we have these different technology solutions which help support the call center environment, which really provide feedback as to how your workforce is doing, how your agents are doing, really resembles the 360-degree feedback type solution, where you have look at the people by many different perspectives to get a more well-rounded view of that person. Having said that, though, 360 feedback does have its own drawbacks. If you use it for just For employee development, it's very effective. If you use it for appraisal system where you have promotions are part of the decision that's going to be made, or raises, you have conflicting viewpoints on it, since peers can be literally competing for those promotions and those raises and those dollars. So there's certain applications of it where you would not want to use it. But for development, and the idea of optimizing and improving the performance of individual people, I think there's a lot of value to 360 feedback. And now finally, let's get to some of the critical pieces here of this whole idea of workforce optimization, where it comes from. It's really from the convergence, the combination of 4 different technologies that have been available for many, many years. Workforce management, performance management, quality management, and then also call and screen recording. And again, this is all in the call center environment. So let's first take a look at workforce management. Really, it's pretty straightforward, at least on paper. It takes a forecast of how many calls you're going to get at a call center, and then it creates schedules for agents to take that are appropriate for when you're going to have a certain call volume. This actually is kind of complicated to do. Actually, in real life research, there's actually been quite a bit of research on it, trying to make it more optimal. The problem itself in computer science is actually very computationally intensive. However, advances in computer performance has really mitigated that problem. However, new things have come along to make it even more complicated when it comes to managing your workforce from giving actually schedules to work. Is where you have multiple lines of business, where you have agents trained in multiple different lines of business, like sales or customer service, maybe tier 2 support or something like that. And then we have call volume for different lines of business. Now we can match up people, based off of, they have different types of skills that they have, and actually be able to come up with, having the right number of bodies, to be able to take that, the phone calls that you think are actually going to come in. And several different companies have made really this their core business too, where they actually have these products, this technology, where they, a call center or a company with a call center can go in and purchase this product and implement it, and then it really handles the whole, or facilitates the scheduling of agents. And then this